Okay, so we're doing this together. We have a common assessment science test on Monday. It is required for you to complete before next Friday. So anything that is not completed before next Friday, it's going to be reported as a 0 in I now. That is the absolute last day that we can enter a grade for this test. So as a review, this test is just based on the 9 weeks that we've covered, any topics that we've covered over the last 9 weeks. We did not create this test, so just FYI, there may be some questions on there that we haven't covered. Just try your best on those. Just guess to the best of your ability. Anything that we have covered, me and Miss Santiago are kind of going to go over real quick. Stuff that we have talked about in this 9 weeks that you will see on this test. Just know that once you open your Chromebook to take the test, you cannot close your Chromebook, or it's going to end the test at that point.
And it will be a 0 in I now at that point.
Yes.
And this is not a test that we have created. We have no control over it. This is a test that people in central office have created, and the grade does go in I now, but we can't reopen it for you. If you open it once, do not close it. You will get a 0.
Yes. You can take as much time as you need to complete the test, but once you close it, it is over, and we have no control over that. So just be aware, virtual students, that it has to be completed once you open it. So we are going to be going over the human body systems graphic organizer here. We're just going to talk a little bit about each body system. So we did talk about our skeletal system. So we're just going to go over the roles and the jobs of the skeletal system. So here you just need to know that our skeletal system provides protection. So it helps protect our internal organs. It provides support, gives us shape, and it also uses our bone marrow to create our red blood cells and provide our body with blood. Okay, so on our muscular system, the main takeaway here is our different muscle types. So we have our smooth muscle, skeletal muscle, and cardiac muscle. You need to know here which ones are involuntary and voluntary. So as we went through this in class, we learned that our smooth muscle function, that was our internal organ. So our example there is our digestive system in that picture down here. So do we have control over those muscles? No. So those are going to be our involuntary muscle control. For our cardiac muscles, that's going to follow our heart. So as that muscle contracts, that's our heartbeat, and we do not have control over that either. So that's going to be our involuntary muscle control. The only one that is voluntary is our skeletal system muscle type. Okay, so that goes along with any muscles that are attached to our bones. So your biceps and your triceps and all those. Are we able to control those? Yes. So you need to know that our smooth and cardiac are our involuntary muscles, and our skeletal muscle type is our voluntary muscle type. I forgot to talk about joints over here.
With your bones and muscles, there is a very specific thing that connects bone to bone, and we talked about that. That is your ligaments, and there's something else that attaches muscle to bones. That is your tendons. Make sure you know those. Make sure you look over your joints, okay? Practice those. Hinge, ball and socket, pivot, gliding, immovable, okay? You can look back at your skeletal system notes and you'll be able to find any of that information.
So our respiratory system, we just covered that this week. So that is going to be in that respiratory packet that is in Google Classroom. So the main takeaway here is that you need to know that this human body system is responsible for that gas exchange. So our lungs are kind of the main organs here responsible for that gas exchange, and you need to know that they are part of the respiratory system.
All gas exchange means is you're breathing in oxygen, and when you exhale or breathe out, you're releasing carbon dioxide. So that is gas exchange. In oxygen, out carbon dioxide. That's easy peasy.
Okay, do you want to talk about nervous?
Just For the nervous system, we haven't covered that yet. We're planning on getting to that next week. So the function of the nervous system is basically your sensation and your response to it. So think about if you put your hand over something hot, you immediately jerk it away because you don't want to burn yourself, and your body tells you, okay, pull my hand away. So it's the way you sense things around you and the way you respond to those. It's fine. Okay.
Okay, again, so circulatory system, that's again in that packet. When you're reading through that packet, you need to pay attention to your atrium and the ventricle and kind of know where those are located at in your heart. So as you're going through and labeling those, make sure you're paying attention to where they're at and how they differ from each other.
Your heart has 4 chambers, okay? Make sure you can tell me which side and which chamber is where. And don't forget to think about it anatomically. So instead of looking at it and saying, oh, this is the right side, that is not how it happens. In anatomy, you think of it as it's being in your chest and you're looking at it that way. So technically, over here is your right side, and over here is your left side, okay? And then you will have to be able to tell us that the atrium is the top and the ventricles are the bottom. Okay, same thing over here. These are right atrium and ventricles, so these will be your left atrium and left ventricles. Okay, top, bottom. Okay. Arteries. When you see arteries, the easiest way to remember it, arteries away, it takes blood away from your heart. Ventricles bring the blood back to your heart.
Yes.
Okay. And then you want to talk about digestive system?
Yeah. So then just be sure to look over the digestive system. You need to kind of know the digestive pathways. So we did discuss this in class, and we did the string lab. The picture was posted to Google Classroom. So you just need to know the digestive pathway. So how does that, what are we starting with? Where are we going next? Then where is it ending at? So you're going to need to know that entire pathway and what all is involved in it. You will also need to look at, we talked about this in class with the digestive system, but it is also a part of the respiratory system. So you're going to kind of need to look at the flap that is involved with our airway and our esophagus. So there's a flap there that's kind of helping you protect your airway when you swallow food to make sure you're not choking. So be aware on that respiratory packet that word is in there, and just kind of look for that as you're going through that. Urinary, do you want to talk about that, or we didn't really cover it?
Yeah, just give it, go to we haven't gotten to these yet, so if you see something from them, just do your best. It will be fun. Oh, it went back. Okay. No.
So with our reproductive system, the main takeaway again here, we haven't got to this part yet. We just really want you to be aware of where the female organs, where the eggs are being developed, and then in the male body where the male gametes are being formed at. So you need to look at that and kind of just figure out for the role of the male reproductive system where the male gametes being formed, and then for the females where the egg is being developed at. Again, we have not covered reproductive either, so this 9 weeks has flown by, and there's been several things we did not get to cover. Also on this test, in the beginning, we talked about our scientific method. So you need to do a quick review over the scientific method. Focus on hypothesis. We need to know that there's 6 steps the 6 steps that we use to investigate something, that is our scientific method. So you need to look at each step of this scientific method and focus on how we are asking questions, we're creating a hypothesis, we are experimenting. So just make sure that you're looking at each step and you're kind of understanding them as a whole.
Also, go back and look over your variables for an experiment. So your independent variables and your dependent variables. Be able to distinguish between them. What is an independent variable? What is a dependent variable? I think that's it.
That is it.
Okay,
so just make sure that the test is completed before Friday. R0 goes into iNow. Reach out to us if you're confused on any of this at all, but the test will be posted Monday
during your class time.
during your class period. All right.
Also, any late work will not be accepted after Thursday. We have to have grades in by Friday, and that gives us Thursday night and Friday to complete those grades. So be sure you get all your work done this weekend. All right. Have a good weekend.
Bye.